Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You're listening to Daily C1 English Vocabulary. My name is Emma.
And my name is Tom. Today, we're exploring 13 powerful words and expressions that will help you sound more natural and sophisticated in both everyday and professional English. Let's get started.
Let's start with a word you'll often hear in casual conversation: no-brainer. A no-brainer means a decision or choice so obvious it requires almost no thought at all. If something is a no-brainer, the right answer is immediately clear to anyone.
For example, hiring her was a no-brainer. She had 10 years of experience and asked for a reasonable salary. Or, taking the job offer with double the pay and better hours? That's a complete no-brainer.
This word is informal and conversational. You'd use it with colleagues, friends, or in casual writing, but you'd avoid it in formal reports or academic essays.
For most people, wearing a seatbelt is a no-brainer. You just do it without thinking. Moving to a bigger apartment for the same rent was a no-brainer. She'd been loyal to the company for 10 years, so promoting her was a no-brainer.
Our second noun today is heirloom, a valuable object that has been passed down within a family from generation to generation. The value isn't always financial. Often the value is sentimental and historical.
For example, this pocket watch is a family heirloom. My great-grandfather carried it during the war. Or, she wore her grandmother's ring, an heirloom that had been in the family for over 100 years.
You'll also encounter this word in gardening context. Heirloom vegetables, or heirloom seeds, refer to old, traditional varieties that have been preserved over generations, as opposed to modern, mass-produced ones. The farmer's market was full of heirloom tomatoes in unusual shapes and colors.
This word is neutral in formality. It works in conversation, storytelling, and formal writing alike. Compared to antique, heirloom emphasizes family lineage and personal history rather than age or monetary value. An antique is old and valuable. An heirloom is cherished because of who it belonged to.
Moving on. Our phrasal verb today is kick in. To kick in has three meanings you'll want to master. The first means to begin to take effect or become active.
For example, the painkiller took about 20 minutes to kick in, but eventually the pain faded. Or, once the new marketing strategy kicks in, we should start seeing results by the end of the quarter.
This meaning is useful when talking about medications, policies, plans, economic changes, or any process that starts gradually. Compared to take effect, it's more casual and conversational. The heating system finally kicked in and the room started to warm up.
The second meaning is to contribute money as part of a group. Everyone in the office kicked in $20 for the farewell gift. We've already looked at a similar phrasal verb, chip in, which carries almost the same meaning. For instance, if we all chip in a few pounds, we can afford a really nice bottle of wine for the party.
And the third meaning is to break something open by force. The police kicked in the door and rushed inside. Kick in is informal and very common in spoken English.
Now let's look at a word that's formal, precise, and often used in professional and legal contexts. Deem. To deem means to officially consider something to have a particular quality or status.
For example, the judge deemed the evidence insufficient to support a conviction. Or, if you do not respond within 14 days, you will be deemed to have accepted the terms.
Deem is formal and appears frequently in legal documents, official statements, academic writing, and professional reports. It's the word authorities and institutions use when they make an official judgment. The area was deemed unsafe for construction due to unstable soil conditions.
Compared to consider or think, deem carries much more authority and finality. You wouldn't say, "I deemed the movie boring." That sounds unnatural, because deem implies a certain level of authority or formal judgment. Save this word for when you want to convey that a conclusion has been reached officially.
Moving on to a word that describes strength and reliability: robust. Robust is an adjective with two closely related meanings. The first is physically strong, sturdy, and healthy, able to withstand difficulty or harsh conditions. We need a robust structure that can handle heavy snow loads and strong winds. Or, she maintained a robust immune system by exercising regularly and eating well.
The second meaning, used widely in business and technology, means strong, thorough, and effective, capable of performing well under pressure or in demanding conditions. The company has developed a robust cybersecurity system that can detect threats in real time. Or, we need a more robust strategy if we're going to compete in international markets. The report offers a robust analysis of the data, covering every possible variable.
Robust is moderately formal, common in professional and academic writing, but also perfectly natural in conversation. Compared to strong or solid, robust suggests resilience and the ability to withstand challenges. It's not just strong in ideal conditions, but reliable precisely when things get difficult.
Our next word pairs beautifully with robust, nimble. Nimble is an adjective that means quick and light in movement, able to think and respond quickly, adapt fast, and change direction easily.
For example, the literal physical meaning: the nimble dancer moved effortlessly across the stage. But the figurative meaning is what you'll use most often. Smaller companies are often more nimble than large corporations. They can change strategy in days rather than months. Or, you need a nimble mind to succeed in fast-moving negotiations. The situation can shift very quickly.
Nimble is slightly formal in its figurative use. You'll see it constantly in business journalism, startup culture, and leadership discussions. It's become particularly fashionable in technology and business contexts where adaptability is prized.
Compared to flexible, nimble adds a sense of speed and agility, not just the ability to change, but the ability to change quickly and gracefully. Compared to agile, which is a close synonym, nimble feels slightly more elegant and less technical. If you want to describe a person or organization that thrives under uncertainty and pivots effortlessly, nimble is your word.
Now let's explore a word that captures complexity and detail: intricate. Intricate is an adjective that means having many small, carefully arranged parts, or details, that make something complex and difficult to understand or produce.
It can describe physical objects. The jeweler spent weeks crafting the intricate pattern on the bracelet. Or abstract things. The novel features an intricate plot with dozens of characters whose stories are all interconnected. Or processes. Restoring the painting was an intricate process requiring specialized knowledge and extraordinary patience.
Intricate is neutral to slightly formal and works across many areas: art, science, law, and everyday conversation. The key feeling it conveys is that something has been carefully and deliberately constructed from many interlocking parts, and that fully understanding or appreciating it requires effort and attention.
Compared to complex or complicated, intricate has a more positive, almost admiring quality. A complicated situation is frustrating, but an intricate design is beautiful. Complicated suggests unnecessary difficulty. Intricate suggests deliberate, impressive complexity. When you want to praise the sophistication of something while acknowledging its difficulty, intricate is the perfect choice.
Our last adjective is invaluable. It means extremely valuable, so useful or important that its value cannot really be measured. Notice the slightly counterintuitive logic. Invaluable does not mean not valuable. It means beyond value, priceless in terms of usefulness.
For example, her local knowledge proved invaluable when we were navigating the city for the first time. Or, The internship gave him invaluable experience that he couldn't have gained from textbooks alone. The old professor's feedback was invaluable. It transformed the way I approached my research.
Now let's look at an adverb that signals wisdom and caution, prudently. Prudently means in a careful, sensible, and wise way, showing good judgment and thinking carefully about consequences before acting.
For example, she had prudently saved 6 months of expenses before leaving her job, so the transition was smooth. Or, the government acted prudently by investing in flood defenses years before the crisis hit. He prudently decided to consult a lawyer before signing anything.
Prudently is slightly formal and appears often in financial, legal, political, and professional writing. The related adjective is prudent, and you'll hear both forms regularly. That was a prudent decision, or he acted prudently. Compared to carefully or cautiously, prudently adds an element of wisdom and foresight. It's not just caution for caution's sake, but caution guided by good judgment and long-term thinking.
Compared to wisely, prudently is slightly more practical and less philosophical. A prudent person manages risks well and plans ahead. If you want to describe someone making smart, measured decisions rather than impulsive ones, prudently is your adverb.
Our next adverb is faithfully. Faithfully means in a loyal, consistent, and accurate way. It has two slightly different shades. The first is about loyalty and dedication over time. He faithfully attended every meeting for 15 years without a single absence. Or, she faithfully supported her friend through every difficulty, never wavering.
The second shade is about accuracy and fidelity in reproduction. The film faithfully adapts the novel, keeping every major plot point and character intact. Or, the restoration team faithfully recreated the original colors of the painting. Compared to loyally, faithfully adds consistency and reliability over time. It's not just about being loyal in a moment, but sustaining that loyalty across many moments. Compared to accurately, faithfully in the reproduction sense, adds emotional commitment. It suggests the translator or adapter genuinely cared about honoring the original.
Now let's move on to our idioms. The first one is kick the can down the road. This expression means to postpone dealing with a difficult problem, passing it on to the future, rather than resolving it now. It often implies that the person doing this knows the problem needs to be addressed eventually, but is choosing to delay for convenience or to avoid short-term pain.
For example, instead of reforming the pension system, the government just kicked the can down the road again, leaving the problem for the next administration. Or, we can't keep kicking this down the road. The budget shortfall will only get bigger if we ignore it. This expression is informal to neutral and common in both everyday conversation and political journalism. Compared to postpone or delay, kick the can down the road carries a much more critical tone. It implies irresponsibility and a lack of courage.
Closely related in spirit is our next idiom, bury your head in the sand. This expression means to refuse to acknowledge a problem or unpleasant reality, pretending it doesn't exist in hopes it will go away. It comes from the popular, though scientifically inaccurate, belief that ostriches hide their heads in the sand when frightened.
For example, you can't keep burying your head in the sand about your finances. The debt isn't going to disappear on its own. Or, companies that bury their heads in the sand about customer complaints rarely last long.
And finally, our last expression, cut out for. To be cut out for something means to have the natural qualities, temperament, or abilities needed to do something well. She was clearly cut out for medicine, calm under pressure, deeply empathetic, and endlessly curious. You'll often hear it in the negative, not cut out for something, which means someone lacks the right qualities for a particular role or situation.
For example, after 3 months in the sales role, He realized he simply wasn't cut out for that kind of high-pressure environment. Or, not everyone is cut out for leadership. It takes a specific combination of patience, confidence, and empathy.
Compared to suited for or good at, cut out for is more about inherent character than trained ability. You can become good at something through practice, but being cut out for it suggests it aligns with who you fundamentally are. It's a kind and natural sounding way to acknowledge that different people thrive in different environments.
So there you have it. 13 words and expressions that will sharpen your English and give you the tools to speak with more precision and confidence.
From calling something a no-brainer and cherishing a family heirloom, to watching a strategy kick in and understanding what experts deem acceptable. From building robust systems and staying nimble, to appreciating intricate details and invaluable contributions, to acting prudently and faithfully, and recognizing when leaders kick the can down the road, bury their heads in the sand, or simply aren't cut out for the decisions they face. These words will make you sound more confident, more natural, and more sophisticated in everything you say.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time.
And see you in the next episode.